Chris Sewall here, baseball card collector, investor, dealer, in that order. Welcome everyone. So I went to the Raleigh, North Carolina card show earlier this month, and I was originally planning to, record a bunch of footage and take a bunch of pictures and show it on the channel, but actually the show had a policy, no video recording, no pictures were allowed in the show, and from a YouTube standpoint, that was sort of disappointing, but the truth is I actually kind of like the policy. I mean, I always sort of feel uncomfortable walking around filming, and I don't really like when other people are filming either. I mean, it's sort of like a very personal things, a lot of like private conversations and personal negotiations going on. So actually, like I said, I actually really like the policy, but it does mean that I have no footage from the show to show you. What I'm going to do instead is just show you some of the specific purchases I made. I buy a lot of stuff at these shows, and this is just a small percentage of it, but these are some of the specific smaller buys that I remember exactly what I paid, and what I was thinking when I bought them, and how much, how I plan to sell them, and how much I, hope to sell them for. So that'll give you hopefully a little bit of a dealer perspective. On my trip, I also bought a lot from you guys. 14 of you sent me packages through the mail, and all 14 of you accepted my offers. That was awesome. Batted 1,000 on this trip. So thank you to Justin, Bill, Stephen, Michael, Josh, Dan, Jeffrey, John, Than, JR, Zach, Tim, Glenn, and Wesley for selling your collections to me. I'll make a couple of videos about a few of them in the coming weeks, but for now, back to the show. Before I start, the highlight of the show for me was that I got to meet up with Dustin from the Personal Finance Dad both on Saturday and Sunday. He lives like 20 minutes from the show or so. We hung out for a few hours each day, got lunch one day, and just chatted cards and chatted YouTube channels for quite a while, and it was just really cool to hang out with him. We are now BFFs, obviously. If you're not familiar with his channel where he talks cards and all collectibles, but mainly sports cards, check it out. I've included a link to it in the description below. But okay, let's check out some of the things that I bought at the show. So the first item we're going to look at is this box here. So there was a dealer there that had a dollar box, and it wasn't a particularly good dollar box. It was okay, but there weren't really many deals to be had. There were a ton of common jerseys and autos in here. At $1, I wouldn't be buying these, but on the last day, he priced the box at 2 for $1. So now they're now 50 cents. And at 50 cents, I'll buy common jerseys and autos all day long. Now, there may be some cards in here that are sort of like minor stars, or maybe some, rookies of note, or maybe like some really low serial numbered ones, but I don't think so. Or if there are, it's not very many. Those I might send to like COMC, but for the most part, these are all going to go into a bulk lot for eBay. I think there were 240 cards in this box. I think about 240 from him. So I paid $120. He didn't give me any discount. It was already discounted at 2 for $1. So I paid $120 for these cards. I'm going to price these at probably $1.50 a card in a lot on eBay, and I'm going to be looking to get more like $1 a card off of a best offer. So paid $120, 50 cents a card. Going to be looking to get more like $1 a card when all is said and done, and that's a pretty standard thing. I've made lots like this for eBay in the past. They don't fly off the shelves, but getting that target price is pretty easy, especially with these. These are some generally nicer brands. These aren't like junk brands, but you got a lot of like Bowman Platinums and brands of note that people, there's Contenders and stuff like that people like, Bowman Chrome, and no names of note really, but like I said, nicer brands. So getting $1 per card in a lot on eBay for this sort of stuff shouldn't be a problem at all. All right, here's a vintage, low-grade vintage lot. I buy a lot of this stuff at shows. Dealers are often looking to sort of unload this sort of stuff, as it's really, really hard to sell one at a time. I mean, if you put these out at shows and ask, 50 cents a card or whatever, you'll sell a few, but I often buy these in bulk, and these are mostly 60s. You can actually see a bunch of late 50s here, but mostly 60s. It's lower grade, sort of let's say average VG, and the seller was asking 50 cents a card in like a huge box. This is a seller I've bought a lot from before. I buy in bulk, just lots just like this from him a lot. So he was asking 50 cents a card, or maybe he was asking 3 for $1. It was either 50 cents or 3 for $1, but he gave me the entire box here for 20 cents a card. There were 800 cards, roughly is an 800 count box, and he gave it to me for 20 cents a card, so that was $160. And this is stuff I make lots out of on eBay. Commons, 60s commons, you can see a lot of 60s, 67, 68, 62s, 61s. I make a lot of common lots for eBay. I would expect to get roughly 50 cents a card on eBay here, so 800 cards gonna be around $400, paid $160. Gonna look to sell this for about $400 on eBay. Next, I have a soccer card. It's a 2006 Panini World Cup. It's like a candy trio card of David Beckham, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I like this card. 3 superstars on one card. And it's early year card of Ronaldo and Ibrahimovic. And it's a PSA X-Mint 6. And I might hold on to this card. The seller had it priced at $100. I think he gave it to me for $60. That's a good price. I could, send it to hoodies or maybe send it to CUMC auction and maybe get something like $100 for it. But I actually probably will hold on to this. I tend to, hold on to any sort of notable soccer cards. So I think they're good long-term holds, a lot of room to grow. One of the first items I picked up was this 1936 Worldwide Gum Rabbit Moranville. The seller had it priced at $175. I know the seller very well. He gave me a good price on it. Gave me for $130. This is a really rare card. He's a Hall of Famer, but sort of like a low-end Hall of Famer. But this is a tough card, not a card you see very often. So I paid $130. I'm going to look to sell this for more like $225 or something like that. With cards like this, you can price them high because there's just so few available, especially in PSA holders. I'll send this to CUMC or maybe PWCC Marketplace. Those are the two places where you can set your own price. It's not an auction format, so those are the two I'll consider for that one. How about a junk wax era purchase? So these are Tom Glavine rookies. There was a dealer who had just had a ton of them. You can see these are each 50 count lots of 1988 Topps Tom Glavine rookies, and these are all pack fresh mint. And like I said, 50 in this one, and he had 3 of them, so 150 copies of this card. He was asking $15 per case, so he's asking $45 for 150 Tom Glavine rookies. That's 30 cents a card. He gave me, since I bought all 3, he gave them to me for $40, just knocked $5 off. So I got 150 Tom Glavine rookies for $40. This will make a really nice lot for eBay. I'll probably price this at something like $125 for the lot, and look to get something like $100 or so as the best offer. That's what, 67 cents a card or so. That's a fairly, I'm fairly sure I'll get that price or very close to it. I've made a lot of lots like this in the past. All right, bought a bunch from this one dealer, including these 3 cards. It was part of a sort of, bought a bunch of other stuff, but these were the 3 biggest cards from him. A Jeter rookie and an 8.5 from SGC, a Griffey 89 Upper Deck rookie. And this Tom Brady is a jersey card from 2012. It's actually numbered out of 99. It's a certified gold mirror. It's sort of a wild card. I'm not quite sure what it will sell for. The Jeter is probably, I don't know, $30. The Griffey's probably $75. And the Brady, I was thinking, might get something like $100 for. That's sort of a best guess. I'll probably send these to an auction house. The Brady will probably go to CUMC, and I'll price it at some high price and see if it sells. And if not, we'll lower the price later. I paid $125 for the 3 cards here, and looking to get more like $200 or so, after all is said and done. Bought some cards for a friend of mine. She's a huge WNBA fan. She sort of collects all the WNBA all-time greats, and got some, these are cards I knew she'd want. So got some Diana Taurasi rookie or patch cards. These are like press pass brands, so they're not like huge brands, but that one's numbered out of 20. But they are rookie year patch cards of a WNBA, all-time great. So definitely something she'll want. And a couple of Sue Bird autographs, again, press pass, but these are autographs, red ink autographs, nice looking cards from her rookie year. So these are all stuff she'll really like. Paid $180 for these 5 cards. I don't remember the exact breakdown, but it was $180 for the group, and my friend will gladly, pay me the $180 back, and she'll probably buy me lunch or something at some point to thank me for getting them for her. All right, another junk wax era lot. And I've mentioned a bunch on the channel, when I go to a show, I don't go with like a preconceived notion of what to buy. I go and whatever I find value in, that's what I buy. And here's a good example. Like this is a collection of 1,500 1987 Topps Roger Clemens cards. They're all pack fresh mint, but I mean, this is just a junk wax era card of Roger Clemens. And you would never go to a show being like, oh, I'm looking to buy 1,500 junk wax era Roger Clemens cards, but there it was, and it was a great price and a great deal, so I figured I'd jump on it. The dealer is the same dealer who sold me those Tom Glavine rookies, and he clearly just had a bunch of junk wax era stuff. He was looking to, he didn't feel like dealing with it. He was looking to just sort of unload it all in bulk lots, and he was asking $40 for this entire lot. 1,500 Roger Clemens cards, $40. It's basically less than 3 cents a card. I took a look. I was like, well, I can just make a couple of lots on eBay, maybe an 800 count lot and a 700 count lot, something like that, and I'll look to get maybe, price it at 15 cents a card, let's say, and, accept offers down to 10 cents a card. So I got 1,500 cards here at 10 cents a card. I'm looking to get about $150 for this collection here. And I think that's pretty, a pretty reasonable target. I would expect to get that without a whole lot of problem. It's not going to fly out of the shelves. I mean, but you know, somebody's going to come along and being like, wow, that's a lot of Roger Clemens cards, and just 10 cents a card, I'll take that. Here's a card I got that is actually going to be a PC card. 1961 Fleer Elgin Baylor rookie. When I bought it, I didn't quite remember if I had one of these. This one's an SGC 5. But I went back and looked, and I did have a PSA 2 in my PC, so I'm going to upgrade, use this one for my PC, and I'll sell the PSA 2. The seller had it listed at $1,700, but that wasn't the actual sticker price for this card. He actually offered it to me for $700. I counted at $600, and he accepted the offer of $600, which is a really good price. So like I said, this is going to go into my PC. It's my best Elgin Baylor rookie now that I have. And the PSA 2 I'll remove from my PC, and I'll go ahead and sell that. And the PSA 2 actually sells for around $500. So I'll just sell the 2, look to get around $500, and upgrade the card here. And I'll sell it in any number of the auction houses. I could send it to Hoodies or CUMC or Greg Morris, any number of the auction houses. Any of them will pretty much do for a card like that. Picked up some Hall of Fame vintage rookie cards. These are all from the same seller, and another seller I know very well, and he gave me a good price. Paul Molitor and Alan Trammell rookie. Got a Fergie Jenkins rookie here from 1966 tops. Most of this stuff is sort of mid-grade. The Gaylord Perry is a little lower grade, but 1962 tops Gaylord Perry. 1962 tops Joe Pepitone. This is really lower grade, but the rookie parades there are really tough cards and hold value because they're pretty rare, high number series. Billy Williams rookie here, 1961 tops, and just newly elected to the Hall of Fame, Jim Cott rookie from 1960 tops. So I think the sticker, the ask price from on all these cards combined was something like $190. He gave it to me for $150 for the lot for the group. So whatever that is, 20% off or so, and that's more or less going to be my profit margin. I'll probably make a little more than that. So I paid $150, probably looking to get around $225 or so. I could either send this stuff to CUMC or might use Greg Morris. I use them a lot for vintage auctions. They fetch pretty good prices, so we'll probably do one of those two options. I haven't quite decided yet, but that'll most likely be where these go. Here's another vintage lot, and I just buy a lot of this sort of stuff at shows, and the reason is because just a lot of dealers are trying to just unload it, and they're trying to dump it cheap. And this is great stuff for making lots on eBay if you're willing to put in the time. You kind of have to know what you're doing, but this is all commons, vintage commons baseball. I think it's 70s and 60s mainly. Maybe some 50s. You saw that first stack was 1971 tops. Here's some 50s, 59 tops, and most of this stuff is mid-grade. This was some 60s, 66s. Most of this stuff is mid-grade, better than the last lot I looked at, which was sort of lower grade. These are mid-grade. Again, they're all commons. There's some 78, so the 78s don't sell very well, but a few sort of minor stars there at the top. Andre Dawson rookie. I don't know if you could see that with the poor framing on my part. My apologies for that. But I love buying lots like this. Again, dealers are often just sort of dumping this stuff. A lot of dealers don't know what to do with it. A lot of dealers don't really know their vintage and don't really have the idea of selling on eBay. Here's just a bunch of 68 tops commons, and I bought this entire lot. So there's roughly 3,000 cards here. There's some 76s. 3,000 cards in this box is a 3-row box. Bought the entire lot for $250, and it's a little tough to estimate what it's going to sell for. Some 74s, but if you were to sort of, the 70s will sort of mostly sell for 5 cents for the late 70s, maybe 10 to 15 cents for the early 70s, and then the 60s and the 50s much better. And here's some more 60s and even some 50s, 58s, 57s, some 55, 56s, 55s, 61 tops, a couple of minor stars as well. So I estimated I'll get about $600 out of this box. It'll sort of go into a number of different lots on eBay. I'll probably combine it with some of my other sort of back inventory to make lots appropriately into various years and starter sets and whatever is going to work. But yeah, that's what I would estimate. I'll get about $600 out of this box. All right, next was just a small purchase of a few cards that get made from a dealer. He had like a showcase, and I was just thumbing through stuff. This was stuff I liked. Adrian Beltre, Bowman International rookie, 61 tops, Duke Snyder in sort of upper mid-grade. 3 Derek Jeter Upper Deck rookies. These are the regulars, not the gold holograms. I double-checked. And Clayton Kershaw, Bowman Chrome pre-rookie. So these 6 cards, this is stuff that sells pretty well. These are all like rookie cards, or the 61 Snyder, obviously. But I paid $75 for these 6 cards, and these are all just going to go straight to CUMC, and I'll look to get something like $125 out of all of them. Not a lot to that purchase there. All right, I picked up three kind of nicer cards. This was from a single dealer who I actually didn't know, but he recognized me from the channel, and we chatted for a bit. He was a cool guy. Three nicer cards. You got an Emmitt Smith score supplemental rookie and a PSA 9. The prices you see on the stickers, those were his asking prices. 135 was his asking price. This one was priced really well. 1939 Play Ball Mel Ott, PSA 3 for $175. Love that. Love the pre-war stuff. And then a 1961 Mantle, PSA 4. Pretty strong foil, though off-center pretty bad top to bottom. And he was asking $450 for the Mantle. So for these three cards, I think they added up to $750, his sticker price, $755 for a sticker price. He gave it to me for $650, so basically knocked $100 off since I bought all three. Now, there's not really huge margins on these. This sort of stuff, when you buy this sort of stuff from dealers at shows, you're not going to get it at any sort of huge discount. But I'm going to send these probably to PWCC Marketplace and, price them a little higher. The OTT, maybe try to get like $250 or something like that for the OTT. And I think on the three cards combined, I'll try to look to get around $800 or so. So, like I said, not great margins at all, but a little bit. And these are three cards that'll certainly sell fairly quick. All right, another vintage common lot. You'll notice, like I said, I buy a lot of this stuff. Often dealers are just blowing it out at very reasonable prices. This is an 800 count box of 1975 Topps commons. There actually were a few stars mixed in as well, but they're for the most part commons and certainly no big stars. But the dealer was asking $40, which is basically 5 cents a card. That's exactly what I pay for early to mid 70s commons in sort of mid grade. So, bought this one, and this was nice because it's an already made lot for eBay. I don't have to do any work with it. This is just going to go straight up as a lot on eBay. 800 1975 Topps commons, average EX, and I'll look to get something like 15 cents a card maybe. So, that would be $120. So, easy one here. Not a lot of work involved. Just a couple pictures and a quick posting to eBay. All right, next up, there was a dealer who was selling. He was selling like player lots. Every card, 50 count lots of the same player, and he had hundreds and hundreds of player lots, and they were all stars. So they were priced pretty well, and I bought a whole bunch, and he gave me a discount on the lot. And so here was like a Kawhi Leonard lot. I think I actually bought 3 Kawhi Leonard lots. So 3 50 count Kawhi Leonard lots ended up with 150 Kawhi Leonard cards. Now, most of them are just sort of common base cards or standard cards, but there's a green prism parallel. Some of the stuff, some of these inserts maybe will go to CUMC, and I'll just, put them there for a few dollars. But the majority of these are just going to go into a big Kawhi Leonard lot for eBay. But this stuff's not sexy stuff, but this is stuff where there's nice margins because dealers are blowing out bulk. I think he had the 50 count Kawhi Leonard lot listed at $10, but since I bought so much, he gave it to me for like $6 each. So, I'm in the Kawhi Leonard cards for 10 cents, a little over 10 cents a card, and I'll look to get maybe 25 cents a card or so, something like that, at some point in some large lot on eBay. And it wasn't just Kawhi Leonard, as you can see here. There was a bunch of other guys. There was a Reggie Miller one. I think that one was really cheap. He had it listed at like $5 and gave it to me for $4 or something. There was Brett Favre there. And again, they're mostly sort of base cards and not really exciting cards, but there's the occasional insert or parallel that may be a good, CUMC card. Here's a Brett Favre lot. That top card probably going to CUMC. I don't even recognize it, but looks kind of fancy, so we'll probably assume it's, a few dollars. And the rest of them, again, are sort of 25-cent cards. Here's a Griffey Prism that'll go to CUMC, and there's a Griffey lot, obviously a 50-count Griffey lot. And I actually bought a lot more than what you see here in the photos, but these were just a few of them. And so you probably noticed that these shows I buy a lot of bulk, and this is simply because that's where the profit margins are when it comes to buying from dealers at shows. I mean, dealers have very little incentive to sell, let's say, a $1,000 card for $500. Why would they? They can sell it themselves online and get the full 1,000 or close to the full 1,000 after fees. Why would they blow it out for 500? But with bulk, they have lots of incentives to do it. They don't want to deal with it. They don't know how to deal with it. They don't want to go home with it type of thing. So often they'll just blow this stuff out, and you can buy, a lot of 10-cent cards for 25 cents and a lot of dollar cards for 50 cents and stuff where you can more than double your money. And, if you know what you're doing and you're able to sort of figure that part out, which is something I've gotten very good at over the years, is, doing this stuff really fast, sorting this stuff really fast, not wasting a whole lot of time on it. Blowing through it and being very efficient. And if you're able to do that, you can make some decent money on the bulk. And this stuff all here is dollar cards from the same dealer. So like this box, this entire box, it was part of a lot more cards that I bought from the same dealer, but probably something like I paid $50 for it. I'm going to sell the, I'm going to end up getting something like $125 out of the box. And I have one more to show you. These were actually sold to me by a viewer of the channel, Justin Turner. He came up to me in the aisle, said, "Hey, I love your show. I got some cards I'd love to sell you. We went out front and I checked it out and ended up buying this collection. Absolutely love it when that happens." And this was included about 100 cards here from 1969, 1970 Topps basketball, Elvin Hayes, mostly commons there, but a few stars mixed in. Like I said, the Elvin Hayes, a couple league leader cards, and there's a Gus Johnson rookie. So a couple minor stars mixed in. Certainly nothing big, but sort of mid-grade stuff. And I love this stuff as you guys know by now. And there's a nice league leader card with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wes Unseld, and Elvin Hayes. A lot of star power on that card there. So that was one thing included. It also included about 400 cards of football, mostly 1969 and 1970. A few from the later 70s, but mostly 69s and 70s, and again mostly commons, but some minor stars mixed in. Again, no major stars, but Leroy Kelly type players. Plenty of that sort of stuff. And Justin Turner, he gave me a pretty good price on this stuff, and his Instagram is North Carolina Cards 1988. I'll include that in the description below. Daryl LaMonica there, but I'll include that in the description below. So check him out if you'd like. He's got a bunch of other cards for sale as well. But nice lots here. This is stuff I'm going to use to make lots on eBay, as you guys have probably figured out by now. 69s and 70s Topps football. I like that stuff. And then also included were some other singles. He had a bunch, and I sort of thumbed through them and picked out some I liked. A lot of second-year Tom Brady's 2002 Tom Brady Flair Focus. A Ronda Rousey. I didn't know anything about that card, but I figured I should get a Ronda Rousey rookie card at some point. Tom Brady second-year Topps card. Tom Brady second-year Flair. He had a bunch of Tom Brady second-year stuff. There's a Dwayne Wade 2012 Prism. That's first-year Prism. Kevin Durant rookie, the Topps white border, and then Don Mattingly 1984 Donruss rookie. So for the whole thing, I paid $180, and I don't know, I'll probably end up getting something like $300 out of it when all is said and done. So thank you, Justin Turner, again for coming up to me and selling me your cards. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate anyone who does that. A lot of people have done that in the past, and always thankful for that. But that's it for now. Just wanted to share a few of the purchases I made at the show and what I hope to sell them for, so you can get a little bit of a dealer's perspective. Hope you guys enjoyed. And as I mentioned, I bought a lot from you guys on this trip as well, so I'll do a couple of videos in the near future on some of those purchases, so you can get a little more dealer perspective if you would like. Until then, have a great day, stay safe, and have a great finish to 2021. Let's finish the year strong. Thanks, everyone.